This a little rundown of the recent exhibition I had at Tin Roof. I mean, when I was offered the chance by Tin Roof to put on a solo show to accompany an evening of live music, I jumped at the opportunity. The group interest was high to see what I would produce and choose to show, and so was my own. I hadn't had complete control over an exhibition in a long time. I decided immediately that I would take full advantage of the situation and create a whole new body of work. Each piece designed to work together and give a unified feel to the show rather than just chuck in stuff I'd had kicking around for a while. Since the exhibition was totally unexpected, I had not gone through the usual steps of developing an idea and work and then it leading me to wanting to exhibit. Absent any concept and with simply a room filled with artwork, I allowed purely visual part of my brain to take over and simply started visualizing the end product, the filled gallery, and trying to imagine the show. Limitations often breed innovation, and I was limited by time, budget, materials, and no concept, so intuition was my lifeline. I spent a day sourcing materials from a huge stash of artifacts I have, and the studio's piles of waste wood and skips and whatever, and piled it all together in the workshop, and I had a big mass of disjointed, assorted bits, so all I had to do now was blend them all together into an exhibition. Firstly, I made two huge big frames, which I was going to make wall works, a smaller frame, a cupboard, and planned out the layout at the same time. I had the advantage of having seen just about every show that's gone on in this space, so I had an idea in my head of what would work visually and what wouldn't, and how to use the space to its fullest. And the weeks flew past and the work was frantic, but my excitement and enthusiasm to see the show myself carried me through. Before I knew it, the show was installed. A monochrome exhibition with no philosophy or concept other than my visual intuition. I summed this up in a forcefully ironic artist statement in the exhibition guide, encouraging the visitors not to think too deeply about what the work was saying, and instead just look at it and feel their own impression of the work and the visual ethos. The statement reads as such. White space disrupted by luminescence subduing works via light absorption. A superliminal statement of the antithesis of container inverted through means of the contained. The white cube by this method is transformed by a word into a monochromatic tesseract. The active ingredient of my experiment, marketed in the UK under the trading name of Chromacide, TM, instigates change in the gallery space through the generation of anti-space. The anti-space is a material manifestation of the concept of unspace, which will henceforth be referred to by the rather inadequate word matter. The principle behind the experiment is to use the active ingredient, space, and matter to create a pro-matter construct capable of countering the effects of the space. Matter art is designed to be the catalyst for this reaction, as it is intended to be both the inverse of non-work and concurrently exists, in fact, occupying space, thus negating it. The outward appearance of such matter art is intentionally designed to make its extant fact visually undeniable and show the forces of physical incarnation in action. The matter art must not simply occupy space in an invisible manner of universal laws, but in a more communicative announcement of intent. Matter art of this sort attempts, and subsequently succeeds, to communicate the oft-hidden behaviours of objects. Some of these are territorial displays, informing others to stay at a safe distance. Objects do not perceive colour. Theirs is a world of the binary log, split between existence and non-existence by everything in between. Their view in this space differs from ours due to a lack of ability to receive the parallel streams of existence and non-existence in the spectra. It is a result of their blindness and our vision that we are known as humans. That's with a me, by the way. The results from the experiment suggest a form of telepathy by proxy, localized to a line-of-sight field emitted by the area surrounding the matter art. The subject's mind perceives the missing information and generates an image to fill the blind spot. By means of the aforementioned field, the artist's thoughts are retroactively created in the thought void left by the matter art. Each telepathic proxy message is different, accurate, and utterly irrelevant unless local conditions allow physical demonstrations of the subject's thought patterns. In communications of this manner, visual aids are frequently employed, such as limb gestures and viscera-facilitated vocalization. Colourful language may be used, however, their influence cannot reflect from the matter art. The meanings are lost on objects anyhow. And I conclude this by saying, all work is for sale. Make me an offer I can't refuse.